Is this the ultimate status symbol or just a $145 bottle of air? This is the new Hermes Plein Air Luminous Matte Foundation. And today we're deciding whether it's worth it or something we should walk away from. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can probably see, I have nothing on my face except for some eyeshadow, a little bit of eyeliner. And I purposely did that because I want you to see me applying this foundation. I have been playing around with it for a couple of days. I'm trying not to do as many first impression videos. I try to spend some time with these things because I think, especially for foundations, you need to understand all the various implications of the foundation that you're using. So Hermes is calling this a luminous matte. I feel like that's a total paradox. You can't have something luminous and have it be matte at the same time. It doesn't work that way. Medium coverage, fluid texture that feels like high-end skincare. Absolutely true. It has 82% skincare actives, think niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, and white mulberry, which I'll get into what all those things do. It's designed to blur pores without making you look like you're wearing a mask. So this is very much the new de facto standard in skincare these days. It's like, I'm not in skincare, see? I made the mistake right there, but that's the whole point. It's foundation slash skincare. So the foundation is it feels very emollient when you pump it out. So when you get the idea of a matte, you don't really feel that with this. It does feel softer than a lot of mattes. It does feel more emollient than a lot of mattes. So you can feel that skincare active as part of the formula. It claims that there's a 16-hour wear and heat and humidity resistant. I have not gotten 16 hours out of it, but I don't wear any more things for 16 hours. I would say 10 to 12 hours, yes, absolutely does seem to wear well. However, it starts to, and we'll get into this in more detail, it starts to cling to any flaky dryness you have on your skin. The thing that I would say is sort of the catch to all this, and maybe the thing that makes you walk away immediately, is the scent. It is heavily scented. This is a proprietary scent for Hermes, which is sandalwood and arnica. I like the scent, but I'm like, it's strong. To me, it's strong. Now, I am one of those people who has very, very sensitive sense of smell. Like, I can smell things that other people don't usually smell. So I don't want to like scare you and think, oh my goodness, forget it, you can't wear it. But if you're somebody who has very sensitive skin, this does have perfume in it, or if you're somebody who suffers from migraines like I do, you might want to be careful with this one because the scent is just there immediately. It's not something that you can just get past. Like it's there and it lingers for a while. There are a couple of details, again, that we've gone through. It's $145, makes it very expensive. It is best technically for normal combination and oily skin, not dry, even though it has hyaluronic acid and niacinamide in it, and I'll explain that. It's a satin matte, so it's not a flat matte, and they have it at Nordstrom and other exclusive luxury retailers, and of course, Hermes, which is where I purchased it. There's a number of other formulas that I'm going to compare it to. I'm going to swatch them on my arm, and I'm going to explain the differences of this new formula and those formulas in comparison. But I also want to mention this is made in Italy, and their former complexion balm that they had that was also Plein Air was made in Japan. I have no idea why they switched. I'm sure there's a reason, but they haven't shared that with me. So let's talk about the actives in here. The hyaluronic acid and the niacinamide. We'll get to the mulberry extract in a second. These are two ingredients that act sort of as the engine for the makeup to act like a high-end serum. They are a duo. They balance each other out. So one manages oil on the barrier while the other manages moisture. Niacinamide is that keeps your skin behaved while you wear makeup. It's an oil control. It regulates sebum production, so you don't have too much oil, prevents the foundation from breaking up or getting too slick, which is why you have the longer wear time. It helps to strengthen the lining of your pores, making them appear smaller. It doesn't make them smaller, just here smaller. And it produces, it boosts the production of ceramides, which strengthens your skin's natural shield. By the way, and this is not a sponsored video in any way, shape, or form, I have been trying Shani Darden product. This is a peptide cream. It's really, really good. I was thinking of skincare, sorry, but I'll have more on that later. Anyway, I'll link down below in case you want to check it out. It helps fade dark spots over time. This is basically vitamin B, but it takes a while. It's not gonna happen in like one use. Hyaluronic acid is like a magnet, like a hydration magnet. And basically it's a humectant that can hold more weight, more water than its weight, okay? And it draws moisture into the skin and then it plumps up the fine lines so the makeup doesn't settle into them. That's the idea. It prevents like cakiness and smooth texture. They are better together because the hyaluronic acid will make your skin look plump, but it could get greasy. The niacinamide might control, but your skin might feel tight, which is why niacinamide is a great product, but if you have really dry skin, you need a hyaluronic acid. Science. But here's the thing. If you have really dry skin, the niacinamide, again, I don't know how much is in here. I don't in the balance of this. I don't know how that works. And for me, again, and I'll get into how it works on me when I put it on, I think there are better combinations out there. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's a walkaway. I think there's things to consider. Now, you can get these ingredients in like a $20 serum. I think The Ordinary has something like it. The issue is whether the integration of these ingredients into the foundation to the makeup makes the makeup sit better on a long wear test than putting the serum on and then putting on a foundation that doesn't have the skincare in it. I think as a general statement, the way that Hermes did this, it does work better and it does last longer, but I still want to put the caveat out there for people who have dry skin. I'll delve more into it while we're putting it on, but again, I think this is not a definite walk away or a definite worth it unless you're sensitive to perfume or you have very sensitive skin, you can't have perfume, then it's a walk away, period. Done. You don't have to watch the rest of the video, but I'd love it if you did. And then if you have that oily-ish skin, I think, yeah, this is probably a worth it right away. There are some other things to consider like the perfume and other things, but it does work better than doing the serum and then the foundation. The issue becomes when you start to get into my category of very dry skin, especially now that it's winter. See, this is specifically made to last through heat and humidity. There's no heat. There's no humidity. This might work very well for me in the summer, but in the winter be less appealing. I can decide how much niacinamide I put on versus how much hyaluronic acid because I can measure it out. If it's in the foundation already, I can't. Now, a really interesting little tidbit about white mulberry extract. White mulberry extract is Morris alba. It is the hero ingredient. It uses it as a signature across their complexion and hand care products to bridge the gap between makeup and treatment. So there's a couple of things about it. It's a natural brightener. With consistent wear, you would see a fading of dark spots and stuff just like the niacinamide. It is a powerful antioxidant protection. It is packed with flavonoids and vitamins, like vitamin C. Then it's calming and anti-inflammatory, which is great for people who have redness in your skin. It calms redness and irritation. Again, I don't know how much is in here. The alba, how far down was that? Again, I don't know the amounts in here. It's down further. Niacinamide is here. Hyaluronic acid is here. Alba is here. You can't even see that. It's like this. Niacinamide's first, hyaluronic, alba. Some people say that it's some of the studies that says it can improve the skin's renewal process. Here's the really interesting Hermes connection, and I think why they use it. Hermes, I think, chooses this ingredient because the white mulberry tree is historically significant to the house. Its leaves are the primary food source for silkworms. And, it's the silkworms that create the silk that are used in Hermes scarves. So it's a kind of clever way to tie their fashion heritage to their beauty science, which I just thought was kind of interesting. Yes, I am a little bit of a nerd. Okay, so we're gonna take the foundation. I'm gonna do one pump. That's all I'm gonna do. Now, I have found two things about this foundation as I've been using it. One, if I put on my emulsion beforehand, it doesn't work for me. I cannot put on a moisturizer beforehand. For some reason, it clings to the drier skin worse. I don't know what to tell you. I do have on a moisturizer, but I put it on much earlier in the day and I've let it sink in and blah, blah, blah. 2, if you use the Make chromatic eyeshadows, which I have on today, this one's Gleam, I think. Gleam? I love these eyeshadows. They're like my favorite now. Do not put the foundation on your eyelids, because a lot of times I'll put foundation on my eyelids as a primer, as a base, because I can just get rid of the green or the blue lines and stuff. It does not mix well with the Make. It breaks the Make down. I'm assuming there's something in the either hyaluronic acid or there's something that breaks it down. So you cannot put that on and put the Make products eyeshadow over it. Doesn't work well. So I just have on a, my brain, Gerard Cosmetics eye primer, which is the best. So I'm gonna put this into the skin, and you'll probably notice that I am using just that one pump, very little of this product. I have found that very little of this product works much better for me than more of this product, because it does cling to dry patches, and I have dry patches. And the reason I have dry patches is because it's winter. It's winter in New England. And if you've ever been in New England in the winter, you will realize it's just freaking dry. And there's no moisture in the air, there's none. And today, which is a very bright day, which is great for lighting, but terrible actually for the warmth, because the brighter the day, the colder it is. You learn that very, very early on in your New England experience. So I think this looks great. It looks really nice on the skin. I'm looking in a 10x mirror. It looks perfect. It looks even more perfect on camera, and it makes my skin look kind of like seamless, flawless. It covers up all the red. It's a medium coverage, like I said, and it looks great. And it lasts, like I said, 10 to 12 hours, no problem. As I wear it, I actually feel like it looks better because the oils in my skin do start to come out a little bit. And because I haven't put a lot on, it like breaks it down, but not a lot, because niacinamide's here, like I said, hyaluronic's here. But again, I have to put this on a very certain way. I have to put it on without my emulsion underneath. I have to put it on in a one pump, no more. And I have to make sure that my skin is flawlessly executed in prep. It needs to be exfoliated. It needs to not have flakes, lots of flakes, dry skin. And I need to make sure that I have moisturized it. I would give it at least an hour, because otherwise there's the mix of niacinamide, mulberry extract, and hyaluronic acid in here, for whatever reason, starts to break down other products. Again, like the Make eyeshadow. I don't know why. There's probably a product developer out there who can tell me why. But other than that, I actually think it looks phenomenal, and it really does last. So if you're looking for a product that can last all day, and you're willing to do the thing, like you have dry skin like me, and you're willing to do the things I just talked about, this is a winner. Fantastic. Yes, it's expensive, but you'd have to pay for serum. Before we get to the comparisons, the other thing to remember about this particular foundation, which I did not realize when I first was looking at it, it is broken down by warm, cool, and neutral, which most foundations do. But it is the opposite of what most companies do. If your skin has apricot, peachy, pink tones, you want to get a W shade. If your skin has yellower tones, you want to get a cool shade. What they are saying is that the shade balances out your skin. So I have 11W. Yeah. And when you see it compared to the other shades that I have, you'll see that this is absolutely correct. It's like, oh, all right. So it's not a bad thing. It's just something to be aware of, understand it, so that when you're ordering your shade, you get the right shade for you. All right, so let's do some comparisons. So I'm gonna put it on the arm here, and I'm just gonna do like tiny little, and then we'll go like this, and we'll compare it to the others. So this formula, as I've said, is medium coverage. I think that's true. It definitely has a good amount of coverage on first use. It is pretty buildable. I found it to be buildable, but I don't like the buildable. I don't like building it, because when I do that, it gets, I think because of the amount of niacinamide in it, it starts to look cakey on me, which is supposed to prevent the cakiness, but it's because my skin is so dry. This is the Victoria Beckham Drops, very different foundation. It's not even a foundation, it's a skin tint. It's $110 instead of $145. It's a light sheer. They say sheer to medium, but it's sheer. Here's the thing though, this is a luminous finish. It's skin-like, it's very watery, and this doesn't even offer, in my opinion, coverage, like the way that we normally think about it. What this does is blurs your skin and provides a very sheer, light, blurring technology, which the Hermès does as well, that makes your skin look just perfected and healthy and just amazing, but doesn't really offer a ton of coverage. It's almost like it's a skin tint. It lets your skin shine through, but it makes your skin look better. I have rosacea, and this covers the rosacea more than the Victoria Beckham, but the difference is that the Victoria Beckham makes my skin look healthier because my skin is dry. I think if your skin is oilier, Hermès all the way, don't go with the Victoria Beckham. There are the properties in the Victoria Beckham, the Augustinus Bader properties. I personally think for anti-aging, if you were gonna pick one of the two, I would go with the Augustinus Bader because the TFC8 technology, which again, don't know what it is, supposedly is scientifically designed for cellular renewal, and it does seem to make my skin look better the more I use it. I really love the Augustinus Bader products. They're incredibly expensive, but I think that it is superior to the Hermès as a skincare product, as an anti-aging foundation if you're using it every day. However, again, one more time, I'm gonna repeat. If you're looking for something that's gonna last long and or you're oily, Hermès. It's pretty clear breakdown. All right, so this is shade 2. This is shade 11W. You can see that the 11W is definitely warmer. The 2 is much cooler, but they're not that off in shade. Next one is the Chanel Les Beiges. This is the Healthy Glow. This is in B10. This has a radiant finish. It's light to medium coverage. This is a great foundation. I really like this one. I use it when I'm not using the Touch foundation. The Touch foundation is more of a skin tint, which is why I didn't reference that one today, because I'm trying to compare things more to what the Hermès is for coverage. Although the Victoria Beckham doesn't really have the same kind of coverage, but it does have like intense skincare, and it is $110, so I thought it might be relevant for you guys to look at. It's a silky liquid. It does have 40% of water. It's very hydrating. And you can see that the shade is actually very similar to the 11W. This one is actually a little bit warmer, believe it or not, a little bit more apricot, and it's a radiant finish. It's a nice product. I mean, I think this one's $65. It's a silky liquid that works well on most people. It's a little bit more radiant, and I feel like it gives about the same amount of coverage as the Hermès. Then there's the Armani. This is the old formula. I do not have the new formula. I have asked you guys if you're interested. Some of you seem like you are. That's way too much. Some of you seem like you are. So I'll do it. I'll have it just to see it, you know, see for myself what I think, because I do like the Armani foundation. This is the foundation that many makeup artists swear by on set. It's a blurred, flawless finish. It's a natural glow. It's medium, and it's definitely buildable. It has a microfill technology for texture refining. I think this looks great on me. I love this foundation. I've loved this foundation for years. They have changed it a couple of times, and now they've changed it again. I have it in 4.75. They have a very weird color thing. That's one of the things I don't like about it. But I really like this foundation. It's, like I said, it's good for most people. It's $69. It has a great finish. It's natural glow. All the good things. It's why it's become iconic. But it doesn't have, unless we're talking about the new one that I haven't tried yet, the skincare properties that a lot of these new ones do. Makeup Forever HD Glow. This is the Hydra Glow. This is great for dry skin. Has hyaluronic acid. This is the HD Glow because the camera cut out, so I had to come back. It is a glowy, dewy finish. Great for dry and mature skin. I think it's like $63 for the big bottle. Medium coverage, it's creamy, it's gel-like, has hyaluronic acid, 86% skincare based, so even more than the Hermès, much cheaper than the Hermès, and it has a beautiful finish to it. It's one of my favorite foundations. If you're looking for a medium coverage foundation and you have dry skin, this thing is like fantastic. The shades are also a little tricky. I have 1R02 in this particular one, and I like a glowy finish, so again, for me, I love that foundation. I'm gonna tell you which one's gonna be right for you in just a second. Chantecaille. This is the Chantecaille Future Skin. I've had this foundation for years. I can tell you right now, if you're somebody who suffers from rosacea, hot, irritated skin, this is a great foundation. It is a good foundation for oily skin or sensitive skin. It is an oil-free gel. It has a dewy, fresh finish. It's 60% water. Botanicals like aloe and arnica are in this. It doesn't have a scent, or it has a very light scent if it does have a scent. And it's, I'd say a light coverage. Their tinted moisturizer actually has more of a coverage than this does, and that's Aura. It's honestly, it's one of the best foundations out there if you're somebody who has sensitive skin. It's great, it's cooling. And last but not least, this is the product. This is the Reveal foundation, and I forgot the shade I have, but I'm gonna put this, I'll put the shade name. This foundation is the only matte foundation that I like. Now again, I have to use the Hermes longer to be able to say that I like this one. But this foundation, it's refillable. It is color adjusting like the Hermes. I believe it's $70. It has a soft focus in real life kind of filter to it. So when you put it on, as like you wear it, your skin looks better. It's this really weird thing. Like and it adapts to your skin. It just looks great. It's medium. It's buildable like the Hermes. It has like a breathable liquid in it, and it's refillable, like I said, and it has vitamin E and niacinamide. So it is longer wearing. Again, that's why you get that matte, because the niacinamide is controlling the oils. Now, here's the interesting thing. When you look at the foundations as they dry down, and right now it's a little too early, but as you let them dry down, they have a very similar finish. The Hermes and the Prada look very similar. It's a very soft matte. It's not, again, I think Luminous matte is stupid. That's just me. That's salty Jen coming through. It's dumb. Anybody who has studied anything in their life will know you cannot, it's like saying quickly slow. No, they're two opposing ideas. Luminous is one thing, matte is another. If you want to call it a soft matte, if you want to call it a, I don't know, gentle matte, a semi matte, again, those things make sense to me. But luminous matte, I'm sorry, but no. Went off on my little rant there. But the point is that Hermes has, and I know why they say it. They say it to give people so people will know it's not drying or it doesn't look cakey. But the problem is it can, and so can the Prada if you're very dry skinned, because you have to take into account that it's controlling your oils. Well, that's great if you have oils to control. Again, you have to keep these things in mind depending on, you know, what kind of skin you have. But the finish of the Prada is actually very similar to the finish of the Hermes when it dries down. The difference is the Hermes does have hyaluronic acid in it, which really does bring in the moisture, does attract the moisture. However, it doesn't have a fragrance and it is refilled. What I would say is that if you're looking for your skin but better, and you want something that has coverage, the Chanel Beiges or the Chantecaille Future Skin, especially if you have sensitive skin, Chantecaille. For long wear, there is no question in my mind right now that you go with the Hermes, unless your skin is really dry. And then I have to say you go with the Armani. It lasts a really, really long time. The only thing is that I don't know what the new one's like. That would be the caveat there. For skincare first, Victoria Beckham. If you want more coverage, the Makeup HD Hydro Glow. It's a fantastic foundation. If you want a soft matte finish that still looks luminous and hydrated, the Prada. It's a great foundation. I've been using it for a very long time. I think this foundation, for me, is a really good foundation. And I like it very much. But I have to use it a particular way to get it to a point where I like it very much. So, would I buy it again? No, I have plenty of other foundations that I like more. However, I will say this. It is, as I mentioned up front, it is the winter. There's no humidity. There's no heat. I might love this foundation in July. So, or if I'm in Miami. So let me finish up my makeup look so you can just see how it looks with, you know, a little bit of contour, bronzer, blush, and all that good stuff, mascara. And then we'll wrap up. Okay, all done. I'll have all the details below about what I put on my face. So I'd say this is my final verdict. If you want a polished, filtered look that stays in place all day and you don't mind the scent and your skin is not severely dry, I think the Hermes is worth it. I really do. I like the way that they've put the ingredients together. I think they work really well for a long-lasting foundation, and I think it does look beautiful on drier skin if applied the right way. If you're a skincare purist and you really want your skin to show through and you're looking for that natural, healthy, blurred look, I would go with the Victoria Beckham. I still love this foundation. I think it's perfect. I don't think that the Hermes is a automatic worth it. I think it's something, and that's what we went through all today, I think it's something that you really have to think about. I think that's true with practically any product, and figure out what you're really looking for in your foundation. If your skin is oilier and you're looking for something that really lasts, I think this is an excellent, excellent choice. If your skin is very, very dry, and I mean drier than mine, I don't know, I think this is a pass for you. I think this is a walk away. If you fall in between, I think it certainly can be a worth it if you spend some time and energy figuring out how it works for you. If you have questions about the skin prep that I did today or how I applied it and why I don't put any of my primers on before it, let me know. There is an Hermes primer that goes with this foundation, and I would bet you money that it specifically works with this foundation, the primer, to look stunning. I bet it's beautiful. I am somewhat inclined to try it because I have a feeling that this foundation has been made in a way that might not play well with some of the other primers, because I tried it with a couple of different ones and it didn't play well with any of them. So again, I'm not throwing any accusations at Hermes here, but I think they may have made it so that the primer that they created is the one that works extremely well with it and the others might not. Again, just me being salty Jen, but it's a possibility, right? Any of you who've tried the primer, let me know with the foundation. It did look like great primer. I just generally don't use primers. I use moisturizers and then put on a foundation. But like I said, this one does not like that. So at least for my skin, it likes it better, as you can see, with just nothing on right before. So I'd love to hear if you picked it up. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this and whether or not you think it's worth it or something to walk away from. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.